Oh, hi, how you going? I just, I am here in the town of Toowoomba. I made it from Texas on the border. Spent the whole day driving, and I just woke up. This fasting is kicking my butt. Believe it or not, it's not hard not eating. Um, the hunger is not a problem. But there are other issues that the body's sort of trying to figure out, and one of them is insomnia. Part of that also has to do with the fact that I can't sleep until really late. I wake up at strange hours, and I'm sure it's temporary, although I've been self-medicating. I know a lot of people do this. They self-medicate with alcohol, and well, for those of us that drank every night, um, 6 cans of beer, 8 cans of beer, 12 cans of beer, half a slab, sometimes more than half a slab in one evening was my routine. Although I'm not an aggressive drunk, I'm not the type that wants to go rah-rah party or anything like that, or get into arguments or fights. But when I did used to drink the sauce, it was to help me sleep, actually, because I had insomnia when I was about 15. And it just wouldn't go away. And then a few years later, I discovered alcohol, and I could sleep pretty good. I could sleep pretty easy. So it was pretty stupid, silly sort of a reason to drink. It wasn't the only reason, of course. Anyway, I don't drink anymore. If I do drink in the future, it'll be highly controlled. I mean, I've just got it under control now. It's just not a big deal. But the insomnia is driving me a bit crazy, especially when I don't eat carbs. It's the carbs that make you crave alcohol too, believe it or not. I think sugar and alcohol, well, alcohol is sugar for a start. The acetate that you burn when you drink alcohol, it's like a methylated spirit. You're not burning fat, you're not burning sugar, you're burning the acetate from the alcohol. And your body runs on that, and they're combined. I think they're mixed. I don't want to sound like a crackpot, but because I'm no doctor, so I probably shouldn't put out theories that I don't know are true. But I just know what my own body does. Since I cut out the carbs, I've nailed the alcohol. The alcohol just has no power over me, because I have power over the carbs. No bread, no sweet stuff, no rubbish, no garbage. It's amazing. You go to McDonald's and you feel like a hamburger. A hamburger's good. It's got meat in it. No carbs in a hamburger. Not many carbs in cheese. Cheese, hamburger, lettuce, tomato, that's all great stuff. The only thing is the bun, But you could throw the bun away. I used to throw the top part away until I realised that I shouldn't be eating takeaway food at all. I should be eating whole food, because I don't know what they put in that. I can buy myself mince, make my own hamburger, and I know what's in it. They say it's 100% Australian beef, but who knows? Who knows? They're businessmen. They're businessmen. They're not there to serve my health. They're there to make money. So I have experience. I know businessmen will bullshit to make you happy so they can get their money. But this McDonald's thing of the supersized thing of would you like fries with that? Would you like they sell you that, and the worst thing you can have is protein and sugar. It's the worst thing. Protein and carbs. It's the worst. It's the worst combination, because the carbs by themselves, if you took a lollipop and ate it, you'd get an insulin spike, okay, and then it'd drop down over a few hours, and then you'd be craving more sweet stuff. But if you eat a hamburger with a shake, or with a large Coke, and potato, which is full of carbs, I don't eat potato at all. It sucks, I know, I love potato. But so fries, you can't eat them, and that vat of oil that they've been cooked in, You don't know what sort of oil that is, and that's that Cisco. It's manufactured oil. It's made under high pressure. It's bad oil, and it's used 100 times throughout the day. There's probably dead bugs in that oil. Who knows? Well, I'm not saying. I just, I don't know when they changed the oil and all that. But the point is, takeaway food is not for me anymore, and I hope it's not for you either, because I want you to fast and go on keto too. And I want you to fast with me as we go along with these. When I tell you I'm fasting, I wouldn't mind if you laid a comment down and told me that you're fasting too. I think that'd be great to have like a gang of people all saying, yeah, we're fasting together. Anyway, so this fast has been kicking my ass in a few ways. I've got keto rash, and you can't really see it. It's not really that visible. It's itchy right here, right there, where the sweat points are, underneath the arms. And it's called keto rash, and it's because of a lack of carbs, because you should be doing it gradually. Apparently now they tell me that you should gradually cut out the carbs, which is what I suggest for you if you want to try keto. But I dived in head first and probably hit a rock, and therefore I've hurt my head. In other words, I've got this keto rash. It's very itchy. It's just an itch, and it's really itchy, and they don't know what it's about. They don't understand it. They don't know why it's there, but that's the other thing that's happening. So I've got the insomnia, and believe me, this is insomnia time. I'll tell you what the time is. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. in the morning. So this is the wrong time. I mean, I fell asleep at 11. I couldn't believe it. I woke up an hour later and just, what the hell? Why don't I sleep? Why can't I sleep? And it's blurring. My eyes are getting a bit blurry too because of the fasting. So the fasting exacerbates this. It sounds terrible, doesn't it? But there's lots of upside. There's lots of upside. For example, brain function. You get a clarity in your mind when you fast. Not the keto. The keto's great. You want to get your insulin, and it's a cumulative effect too. So the longer you're off carbs and not eating many, everything has some carbs. So you're going to get a few, but my goal is under 50 carbs a day, and that's great. That's really good. 50 carbs. But if you can get down to 30, that's even better. But but when I started fasting, I realised, holy cow, where has this been? Where's this brain of mine been? Like I've been living in a fog. And insulin does that. Insulin stuffs you up. It makes you stuffy. It makes your head stuffy. It's that same effect when you eat turkey or for Christmas dinner or whatever, and you just feel like sleeping. You just become a couch potato. Or a big large pizza or anything with lots of carbs. I mean, you're just going to sit there and whack on the telly and just stare at it. Without the carbs, you're fresh, and it's even better if you do it without carbs and you just do your keto diet, but you need the intermittent fasting. You need OMAD. It's called OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. The idea is, even with keto, you can't just do keto. You have to fast. There has to be a fasting component. Like you already fast now. We all fast all the time. When you have breakfast or break fast, it means for the last 8 hours you've not eaten a thing. So that's a long time. That's a nice long, and you would have been burning some little bit of fat during that time. Your body would have gone, well, there's no bloody food now, so I better start. To pump the heart, to work the brain and let it dream, to circulate the blood, to regulate the temperature, and all the stuff that it does without you even thinking about it. That takes energy, and the energy comes from the fat stores, because the body knows there's no food coming out. The guy's sleeping, he's not eating, so I need more energy, so I'm going to access the fat stores. And what you have to do is do an OMAD keto diet, which is intermittent fasting, which means aim to get a later and later breakfast. You don't have to dive straight in. I dive straight in, man. I just, as soon as it made sense to me, it didn't make sense not to do it anymore, and I just dive straight in. But you can do it gradually if you need to, but you don't have to. You can dive straight in too. I mean, this itch, it's nothing. It's going to go away. It goes away eventually, apparently, but I've had it for a week now. It's bugging the shit out of me. It's itchy as, like, around me back and around me legs, and there's a slight rash, but you can barely see it. Some people get it really bad. Mine particularly isn't really that visible, but it's just itchy as blazes. Look at where I am. I'm in a bloody car park. I'm in this car park in Toowoomba. I drove all day, and this is a pretty nice car park. It's one of those, I don't know if this camera's going to pick this up. Probably will. It's a good camera. But it looks a bit like the parking lot in Back to the Future, middle of the night, when Doc Brown and Marty McFly suddenly appear. No, not really. But anyway, this is Toowoomba. This is one of the car park. This is the car park to a football field that's behind me. And I'm staying here, and I thought I'd get a good night's sleep because it rained all night. And the rain was really pleasant, because if it gets really hot, it makes me very unhappy. So I got some sleep, but I couldn't sleep. So here I am, making a vlog. So I'm just telling you about my fast. It's been 5 days. Is my finger on that microphone? It's been 5 days, and this is my 5th day. And tomorrow afternoon it'll be my 6th day. No food, nothing, zip, just water. And I'm not hungry. And the reason why I'm not hungry, and the reason why you won't be hungry either, there's a hormone called ghrelin that comes up and just tells you, hey, you should eat something, and it gives you a bit of a pang, a hunger pang. You ignore that. And then it comes back maybe 4 or 5 hours later. It stays for about a minute. And I tend to tell myself, I don't know whether it's true, but I tend to tell myself when I get that hunger pang that is the fat getting consumed. I feel that I'm being very catabolic when I feel that sensation of ghrelin, that I'm hungry, and you got that sensation in there, and you think, oh, I should eat, but I'm not going to. I'm not eating. No way. What for? And then it goes back. Because here's the thing. This is really important. You've got to get this. The vehicle of the body has 2 modes of operation in regards to energy consumption. It burns sugar or it burns fat. There's only 2 things that it can do. And insulin has an important role in that mechanism. When you sleep at night and you're fasting. When you sleep, you fast. So when you sleep, you get fat adapted. So if there's any needs your body has in regards to energy while sleeping, which there's plenty, you burn plenty of carbs. You burn plenty of calories just laying there or just sitting there. You don't even have to exercise, and you can lose weight if you don't eat too much. But exercise is good. It's good for toning. It's good for there's all sorts of benefits for exercise, but not for losing weight. Exercise really won't help you lose much weight. So if you want to lose weight, you fast. That's what you do. You fast for as long as you can. And I remember I talked about the guy in the previous video. I talked about that English guy that is in the Book of World Records, Guinness World Records, for not eating for years. And it can't hurt you, because what happens is those 2 methods of operating, of getting energy, your liver creates glucose out of protein, or it consumes, or it takes the sugars that you consume, the carbs that you consume typically, and stores them. It stores them. It burns what it has, and the rest of it, the insulin spike is a hormone that tells the body, it's the one thing that tells the body to be store that energy as fat. That's what insulin does. That's what insulin means. That's the pancreas creates it, and it sends it into the blood to reduce blood sugar. And because you can't be walking around with 20 teaspoons of sugar in your blood, you can't. That there would be problems, I'm sure, with that. So that blood sugar needs to be reduced. So that's what that insulin does. It works hard to reduce the blood sugar to normal levels. And where does that blood sugar go? If you can't use it as energy immediately, it must be stored into the fat cells, into this long-suffering fat cells. And the fat cells, you've got a finite quantity of fat cells. It's not like when you eat more, you've got more and more and more fat cells. You've got 20 billion fat cells, or however many you have, and they're like little sacks of blubber. They either shrink or go smaller, or they go bigger. But you don't get more or less fat cells. They just shrink when you get thinner. And so the insulin is there to chemically transform sugar into storage. So there's two modes of operation. There's use the energy now, or store the energy. No, there's two modes of operation. There's store the energy, or use the stored energy. You see that? There's only two things that can happen. And when you eat, you spike insulin. Insulin is there. Even if you just ate vegetables, you'll get some insulin reaction. But a very low one, a very sort of small blip. If you looked at a chart, it'd be like, if you ate a few cauliflower and stuff, it'd be like a small blip. But then if you ate meat, it'd be quite a moderate, because meat actually, it's a protein, and in the liver it can be, you can create glucose from protein in the liver. So you can actually manufacture sugar for yourself if your body wants that, if it's set on that. But it's like LPG petrol and LPG gas, and you switch your car, and you switch it on and it's on gas, you switch the other and it's on petrol. Well, this is the same thing, and the correct term is fat adapted body. And a fat adapted body is some body that has fasted long enough to make the body not care about any more carbs, and instead realizes that it's got I've got here, right here, I've got 200 million calories to burn. I don't know how many, 200,000 calories, maybe 6 months. I could probably live for 6 months on all the fat, all the visceral fat I've got inside and on my skin, and I could live without any sort of deficiencies, because all the vitamins and minerals are in my fat. Now, I don't know if that's true. No, your body runs on fat. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. Where do you get your vitamins and minerals if you run on fat? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I'm sure there's an answer to it though. So if you run on fat, if your body's fat adapted, like mine is right now, it creates ketones. Now, ketones are a hormone. See, I should pay attention when I do my research. I'm just so convinced of it that I don't even care about the details. I just know what I want to do. But ketones, they feed the brain. You can do a piss test to see how many ketones you have. That's about all I know about ketones, and that's why it's called the ketone diet, keto diet. But that doesn't interest me so much. I like the fasting more. The fasting is the thing, because the fasting gives you, and even if you do go on a keto diet, on its own it's not going to do much. You're going to be waiting a year and a half, and you will probably eat too much, because you still need to fast, even if you stick to a clean keto diet and not a dirty one. A dirty one is when you use processed food, like you eat salami and I don't know what else. What's another example? Takeaway food. You think to yourself, well, that's meat. It's the same meat as the one that I buy. You got to eat grass-fed whole food meat and grass-fed butter and stuff like that. So you buy quality, but you don't eat as much of it. Yeah, but people, so if you just go on a keto diet, people all over the place in the comment sections and elsewhere are saying they're doing fantastic. They've been on it 3 months and lost 20 kilos and all that sort of thing. But they don't mention fasting, and I think, what the hell? How? Because I could eat 2,000 calories in one meal fairly easily. Even if I do intermittent fasting, I don't eat breakfast, I don't eat lunch, I don't eat, sort of around dinner time I think, okay, it's my turn now. I've fasted for 18 hours, so that's a long time for the body to finally go, well, I better start tapping into that fat, and it does, and it begins to burn your fat off. But then you have your meal, and it's only 18 hours. My friend, you need to fast. You only burn 2,000 calories a day, and 1 kilogram is worth 7,700 calories. So it'd take 3 days of not eating anything to kill 1 kilogram of fat or 1 kilogram of weight. I don't know if I explained that right. 7,700 calories is equivalent to 1 kilogram of weight. So if you can have a deficit of 7,700 calories, even though this isn't about calories, this is a hormonal thing. Keto is a hormonal thing. It's about not suppressing insulin, but not instigating the insulin response by not eating many meals a day and having these long periods of not eating or intermittent fasting. So, yeah. But anyway, I've gone long enough about this. The keto diet is great, fantastic, beautiful. Do not eat carbs. Forget carbs. Your palate will change. Your eyesight will improve. Your stomach shrinks. So I don't need this much food. You don't need this much food. You just need to be healthy and good and healthy. So, yeah, signing off from the middle of the night in Toowoomba. Until next time, cheers.